Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Arduna, this is my mom Gina.
Adam is the journalist.
And my mom Gina is the enthusiast.
I'm enthusiastic. Clearly I'm enthusiastic because I am rolling with the Christmas. It's literally the Thursday before Christmas.
Yes, we are just
and
days away from the big holiday, and so we want to say thank you for joining us on Facebook Live today. We'll just tell you that we love doing our show on Facebook Live and obviously streaming on YouTube as well. So we're going to talk about some more things that we brought up on Tuesday, dealing with players sitting out of bowl games. It's a really, really hot topic.
And normally we wouldn't repeat a topic, but there's been some really good posts. If you're watching on Facebook, read some of these posts, and a lot of them been from athletes.
Yeah,
it's a hot topic.
It's a really hot topic.
We got to really finish
and
this up.
It's a big deal because as fans of the game and of the sport, and as an athlete, we understand that there are a lot of hard decisions that have to be made on a daily basis.
Yes.
Just getting out of bed to do the routine schedule every day is a hard decision.
You're going to be mad at me, but I'm jumping. We're live, so I'm going to ask you this real quick. So when you talk about getting out of bed, just take me through one quick typical day of an athlete. What time would your alarm go off?
Okay. If you have the workout at 6 a.m., that means you're getting up anywhere between 5 and 5:30, so that way you can get to the facilities early enough, because you're not getting there at 6.
No,
the workout starts at 6.
Right.
So you're getting up in the 5 o'clock hour in the a.m. So then you
on a Monday
or
Tuesday,
every day,
Wednesday,
every day,
okay. As a college student.
As a college student.
Okay.
And then so that's an hour's worth of workout. And
you're not talking about Zumba or Jazzercise.
We're not going to the local 24-hour fitness or Snap Fitness or whatever.
You're not doing hot yoga
where
at
you
6 o'clock.
get to do your free weights at your own pace. We're talking about high intense, high paced, heavy weights, a lot of movement and screaming and yelling and grunting, and you're working your butt off. You're working your tail off.
As a college athlete, you have to have all your classes done between 8 and 1?
Basically 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, can you be late for class after you've had this full intense workout?
No.
Not where you went to school.
No, exactly. Generally, there's a class checker, someone there with a clipboard that has your name on a list, and generally they have, if you have multiple players on your team in the same class, all of you guys will be on the list, and someone is going, they're called class checkers, and they're going to check your name off. And if you are late, it's about a 5-minute grace period. So if they are nice and they're cool, if you know them, maybe that person will wait for you. But a lot of times, once they close that door, it's over. So you basically have to be there right on time.
Do you get to sit in the back row and take a nap since you've been up since 5?
Well, no, you're not supposed to. You're lucky if you can, but no, you're generally supposed to sit in the first 3 rows. So you got to be, on your game all day, and from the time you wake up and all the way through classes. And
this is abbreviated. If you've watched the show, you can watch the rest. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at the day in the life of an athlete. The reason I brought that up is because we're talking about bowl games, and one of the things people talk about is, the bowl prep. That schedule that you just talked about, which please watch the whole show.
And then we didn't even get to the practices yet, and then film beforehand and after, and then you have study hall,
till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
Sure.
But that is what the athlete has to do all the way till they play their bowl game. And it could be 2.5, 3 weeks between your last regular season game and your bowl game, and you are still running that 5:30 a.m. schedule.
Right.
And that includes usually over Thanksgiving and then all the way up through the Christmas holidays and your final exams.
Right. You don't get a break just because it's Thanksgiving or Christmas.
No, or finals.
Right.
So now back to the question, is this going to be a trend?
Right. Is this the trend? Will this be the norm for players that are NFL or draft eligible once they realize that, hey, the regular season is done and I have an opportunity to maybe do something else with my life? Again, I prefaced at the end of our show on Tuesday, our last episode, I don't want to see that. I am going to be someone that will finish all of the things that I do. If you start something, you need to finish it. One of my buddies was commenting on our show, and he brought up the idea that these types of life lessons and life skills are disappearing now from the new generation of athletes and kids nowadays. And I think there is something to be said about that. And so again, in my own personal opinion, I understand why players do it. For me, I like to finish things. I don't want to start building a puzzle and then have 3 or 4 pieces left out, and knowing that there's still those pieces. It's not like I lost the pieces, but it just doesn't feel complete, you know, and so I want to finish that puzzle.
I agree. That's a great analogy. And for me, I kind of took the hardline stance on our show on Tuesday, but I'm definitely going to see the other side of it right now, because here's the issue. All of those players have to still do what you just described at the highest level, because now bowl prep, it's the last. It's how you end. It's your message going out. There is no tomorrow. Coaches tend to get more intense. Coaches are crabby because they also don't get to go home and be with their family. And they, you know, they're trying to do Santa for their kids. And a lot of times these guys are leaving for, your uncle left for a bowl game on Christmas Day. You left for the bowl game the day after Christmas at like 4 in the morning. Like people do not understand what you're asking of these athletes in order to participate in the bowl. So my issue is, do I think it'll be a trend? I don't know. I hope not as well as you. I do understand that there's a lot of intensity that goes into these kids. These non-paid athletes trying to get ready for these bowl games at the time of year where we're all like doing this.
Everyone's in their festive attire and
in pajamas all day, getting ready to watch the bowl game.
Everyone, your parents and grandma's baking cookies. Now let me ask you this. Do you think this is just a kind of a one-time thing, like, hey, this year was just kind of the year because the playoff system is still very broken, as we all know, and so the bowl games really are kind of it's just a gray zone for postseason this year? Do you think that maybe after this year things will be different once they restructure it, and or is it just going to be, hey, more players are going to just start taking this as, I don't care, I'm ready to go, I've done what I had to do, I'm moving on?
Well, we've already said we both hope not, but let me say this. In the NBA, you saw a trend back with Popovich down in San Antonio where he was old and his players were old, so he had to rest them because they played too many dead-blasting games, so they had to sit down the old knees. You never saw that. Allen Iverson called that out just a couple of days ago about, hey, and my dad would have never not played. But what started out as an anomaly for old players has now become a thing that your superstars and young players and everybody sits out. I hope that doesn't happen to college football. I think that the fix for it, I've already said it, you have too many bowl games, 40-something games. You got teams with losing records, teams with barely 500 getting invited because you're just trying to fill the games. So two things that need to happen. One, you need to expand the playoff system. It will only help the bowl games. You get more bowl games who become important instead of just these 3 or 4 or 2. Right now, these 2 bowl games. You will expand the importance. And then what you do is say these other games, you have to actually have a winning record now to get in there. So if both of those things happen, I think you will see players not trying to walk out the door. The other thing is, I think this year is just kind of an anomaly because there was 19 players in a bowl game last year that all got drafted. I think it was the Fiesta Bowl, and one of those players got hurt really bad, and it's, you know, he has admitted he would still play if he had a chance to do it all over again. But I think what you have is agents getting in the ears of top players like Leonard Fournette and, you know, Christian McCaffrey and saying, oh, you don't want to be this guy. So I think as that injury kind of wears out of the consciousness, hopefully next year you won't have money-hungry agents trying to disrupt a process that's really about team and character. And I think if we can fix our bowl system, we'll be in good shape.
Well, I totally agree with you.
Sorry,
those are some great points. I think there are a lot of factors into why kids are leaving. It's just a new age, a new era, and so kids are making life decisions based on a lot of different factors. And so, yeah, the bowl situation is, like I said, I think is in a gray zone right now just because of the way that it's structured within the playoffs. And yeah, if they expand it and they eliminate a lot of the bowl games, they elevate the ones that they do have, and, you know, put more onus on some of these games and allow, if the NCAA would have better treatment for their players, I think it would make it easier for the athlete to be like, hey, I don't have to leave to just go to the NFL. Life is pretty good at where I'm at right now. And so
to your point, several NFL players said, I wish I'd have one more chance to go back to that college atmosphere and play with my boys,
because the NFL is a big deal. You're getting paid and all that, but we all know, like, you are here today, gone today. They will cut you before you even land in the city that you're supposed to play in.
People get cut on the plane on the way to the thing.
The NFL has its downfalls as well, and so I just think there's a lot of things that can help the college athletes be in college if there were better treatment. The bowl games were restructured, and yeah, you know, all the points that we made on Tuesday. And so I just hope it isn't a trend. I hope it doesn't continue. Because,
well, do you think it is or not?
It is a trend. It is a trend because it's happening. I don't want it to be one. I hope it ends after this year. I want people to stay and enjoy their time why they can't.
Sadly, I also think it's a trend, and unless the NCAA does something about how many bowl games there are and keeping these agents out of these kids' ears, it's going to be a trend, and we're all going to be sad. You're going to look up, and in 5 years, you're going to be watching a bowl game full of the scout team.
Well, and unfortunately, that's what it may be looking like.
Hey, so. And I love the scout team.
Well,
ain't nothing wrong with the scout
team. Those guys
team.
need to get theirs too. So hey, it is what it is. Well,
right, sorry
with that,
we
want to just say we appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning
Merry
in with
Christmas.
us. Continue
Happy
to follow
holidays.
us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook Live.
See you guys again.
We will see
Bye,
you
Facebook
again.
Live.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays, folks. All right.
I'm sorry, I talked too much.